Hey everyone, ready to dive in.
Always.
Awesome. Today we're looking at UpRock,
Okay.
and they're really trying to change how we think about and use AI. And we've got two white papers to kind of guide us here.
Okay.
One that focuses on the platform itself,
Right.
and then another that gets into the tokenomics, which we'll get into later. But
Yeah.
I think the big thing here is UpRock is it's not just another crypto project.
Right.
This is about giving everyone access to these powerful AI insights.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we all see, I think, the potential of AI.
Right.
But, right now it feels very much controlled by big tech.
Absolutely, yeah. There's definitely concerns about bias, about censorship, and
Mhm.
even with Web3 and the whole idea of decentralization,
Right.
AI is still kind of dominated by a few players.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where UpRock is trying to step in, right?
Yeah, I mean they're tackling this head on with a decentralized physical infrastructure.
Okay.
So essentially like a peer-to-peer network
Okay.
where people contribute their, unused bandwidth and computing power.
So instead of these massive data centers, it's kind of like a global team effort.
Exactly. Yeah, powered by everyone's individual devices.
So how would that, like, how would I see the benefit of that as someone using the platform?
So imagine like having your own AI agent
Okay.
constantly scanning the web,
All right.
but not just gathering data, but specifically looking for insights
Hmm.
that are relevant to you, your interests, your goals.
Okay.
And they call this the AI Insight Exchange, or AIX dash.
AIX, got it.
And it's where you can like interact with the system,
Okay.
really fine tune your search.
Hmm.
It's like having, enterprise level business intelligence at your fingertips.
That sounds powerful.
Yeah.
But how do they actually do that?
So they have this thing called the knowledge acquisition layer,
Okay.
or KAL.
KAO,
And
right?
that's where it gets really interesting,
Okay.
because instead of relying on, static data sets or APIs
Right.
that only give you kind of a limited snapshot,
Hmm.
they actually use a network of real devices powered by users to access real-time data.
So they're going directly to the source, basically,
Exactly.
for the freshest information.
And not just that, they're going beyond typical like web scraping.
Okay.
They're actually using real browsers on the network.
Hold on. So they're loading up like websites on a massive network of devices
Precisely.
just to gather the data.
Yeah. And it allows them to do things like gather localized data
Okay.
from specific regions and even bypass some of those anti-scraping measures
Oh, wow.
that a lot of sites have in place.
So it's almost like they're mimicking how real people browse the web, but on a global scale.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fascinating. So they gather all this data, but then what?
Right.
They mention these AI agents in the white paper.
Yes.
What did those do?
So the AI agents are like the brains of the operation.
Okay.
They're using a mix of in-house and third-party agents to kind of sift through all that data and make sense of it.
Okay.
They're using, tools like ChatGPT and LAM-A.
Right. Those are big names in AI right now.
Yeah, exactly. To analyze the data, to look for trends, sentiment.
So it's not just telling me what's out there, it's telling me like what it means.
Exactly. Yeah, how people feel about it, what might happen next.
Okay, starting to sound like a sci-fi movie here, but how do they personalize that for me?
So they use this process called topic clustering to create these personalized feeds based on what you're looking for.
Right.
And it goes beyond just keywords. You can actually train the system.
Okay.
You can give it positive and negative examples.
Oh, interesting.
Like, show me more content like this, but less like that. And the AI learns and refines your feed over time.
So it's like a research assistant that's constantly getting smarter.
Exactly.
All this sounds pretty resource intensive though, right?
It is. I mean, running AI at this scale, it does take a lot of power. But UpRock they're very focused on cost effectiveness.
Okay.
They're using a combination of physical servers and cloud computing to kind of optimize performance and keep costs down.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the token, right?
Right.
Because UpRock is a crypto project.
It is.
So there's got to be a token involved.
Yeah. So the UpRock token, or UPT,
ET, got it.
is kind of the fuel of the platform.
Okay.
They have this tap, mine, earn model,
Okay.
which is all about rewarding users for contributing to the network.
So if I install the UpRock app,
Mhm.
it's using my device's spare resources to mine this UPT.
Exactly. Yeah. Just by running the app, you're earning crypto.
That's pretty cool. But how do they figure out how much I earn?
So there's a few factors.
Okay.
One is obviously, how much bandwidth and computing power you're contributing.
Right. Makes sense.
But here's something really interesting.
Okay.
They also factor in your country's freedom score.
A freedom score.
Yeah, it's a measure of internet freedom
Okay.
and access to information.
Okay.
The higher your country score, the more UPT you can earn.
So the more open the internet is,
Mhm.
the more you can earn.
Exactly.
Wow. So they're not just building a platform, they're almost like promoting a more open internet.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the UPT you earn is temporarily locked during the beta phase.
Okay.
But once the platform is fully operational, you'll be able to use it for things like premium features on the AIX dashboard,
Mhm.
or even accessing data through their APIs.
Oh, so they're going to have APIs.
Yeah.
So it's not just for like using on their platform.
No,
There's really creating like an ecosystem here.
exactly. Yeah, they're building a SaaS business alongside the platform.
Okay.
So they're offering this data to developers,
Mm-hmm.
which not only creates another revenue stream, but it also helps support the token price through buybacks.
So it's a sustainable model. It's not just like hype.
Exactly. Yeah, it's well thought out.
I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Yeah.
They're building this decentralized infrastructure for AI. They're rewarding users for participating,
Right.
and they're generating revenue through this FOSS model. That's pretty ambitious.
It is.
But I'm sure, some people are listening and thinking, okay, what about my privacy?
Right.
What happens to my data if I install this app?
That's a fair question, and it's one that UpRock addresses,
Okay.
head on.
Yeah.
They're, as a Web3 native company,
Mm-hmm.
they're committed to user privacy and data security,
Okay.
and they actually automatically generate a Solana-based wallet for you during setup.
So they're taking privacy seriously from the start.
Yep, absolutely.
But what about the actual data that the app's collecting?
So the data mining happens through a dedicated browser proxy,
Okay.
which is completely separate from your personal browsing activity.
So they're not like tracking my every move online?
No, they're not tracking your online behavior
Huh.
or collecting personal information.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, they're essentially using your device's resources to power the network,
Right.
but they're not monitoring what you're doing online.
Okay, that's reassuring.
And they're also planning to give users the option to connect their own wallets in the future.
Okay.
So you'll have even more control.
So they're really trying to find that balance
Mhm.
between like ease of use, security,
Yeah.
user control.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here.
We have.
What are some of UpRock's plans for the future?
So they have some pretty ambitious goals.
Okay.
They want to expand the platform to all major operating systems with a focus on mobile accessibility.
Yeah, makes sense, especially with that tap, mine, earn.
Exactly.
They want to make it easy for people to join.
Yeah.
Mobile is the way to reach everyone.
Absolutely.
I also saw that they're working on APIs and SDKs.
Yeah, that's a crucial part of their strategy. They want to
Yeah.
give developers the tools to build on top of UpRock's technology.
So they're not just building a product, they're building like a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. Yeah,
Wow, they're really going all in on this.
they are.
This has been fascinating so far.
It's really interesting.
We've learned about, the problem they're trying to solve,
Mhm.
this innovative solution with the decentralized infrastructure, that
Yeah.
AI insight exchange, the tokenomics,
Yeah.
the commitment to privacy.
Yeah, I think what stands out to me is how they're bridging the gap between this really complex AI technology
Right.
and the everyday user.
Yeah, they're making it accessible.
Yeah, they're making it, almost fun.
It is kind of fun to think about.
Yeah.
And I really like the focus on decentralization
Mm.
and user empowerment.
Yeah, it's a potential game changer.
Yeah.
And if they can pull it off, I think it could really change how we interact with information
Absolutely. Yeah.
in the future.
I'm excited to see where they go from here.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really could change things. When we talk about AI, it's easy to get caught up in the tech stuff.
Right.
But what UpRock is doing is it's about giving individuals the same access
Mm-hmm.
to insights that, were only available to these big organizations before.
It's like they're handing us the keys to the castle, basically.
Yeah.
One thing that came to mind when I was reading through this,
Mhm.
they talk a lot about gathering data from anywhere on the web,
Yeah.
even from those sites with dynamic content.
Right. And that's That's possible because they're using real browsers.
Okay.
So they're not limited to like static pages or just the info that's, publicly available through APIs.
So they're really casting a wide net.
Yeah,
But with great power comes great responsibility, right?
of course.
So how do they make sure that all this data is being used ethically?
Yeah, they acknowledge that in the white paper, they talk about the importance of transparency,
Mm-hmm.
accountability in their process.
Right.
And they also discuss plans to introduce a KYC process.
KYC, so that's know your customer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty common in the crypto world,
Mhm.
to prevent things like bots and scams.
Yeah, exactly. And when you think about the volume of information they're collecting,
Right.
it makes sense to have those kind of security measures in place.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like they're being pretty proactive about addressing those potential issues.
They are, yeah.
Their white paper also highlights some interesting customer journeys.
Yeah.
I was really intrigued by the one about content creators.
Oh, yeah, that's a great use case.
Hmm.
Imagine like a content creator who's trying to, stay ahead of the curve.
Right.
With UpRock, they can tap into these real-time insights about what's trending,
Right.
analyze audience sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
They can even get localized data
Oh, wow.
to understand what's resonating in different parts of the world.
That would be huge for someone building a following, trying to make sure that their content's relevant.
Exactly. It's like having a finger on the pulse of the internet.
Yeah, and the applications go way beyond just content creators.
Oh, absolutely.
The white paper talks about businesses, fantasy sports players,
Mhm.
even policymakers.
Yeah.
So it really seems like they're creating this whole new set of tools
Yeah.
for navigating this ocean of information.
Exactly. And they're doing it in a way that's transparent,
Mm,
decentralized, and most importantly, accessible
right, to everyone.
to everyone. Yeah,
It's a pretty bold vision,
it is.
but they seem to have a solid plan.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the team has experience
Mhm.
building successful tech companies.
Right.
They're using this cutting edge AI,
Right.
and they've developed this unique tokenomics model
Yeah.
to incentivize
Yeah.
participation.
Yeah, I'm particularly impressed with their approach to AI. They're
Mhm.
not just relying on off-the-shelf models.
Right.
They're talking about incorporating open source models,
Yeah.
even training their own models, using the data they're collecting.
A smart move.
Yeah, it gives them more flexibility,
Yeah.
more control in the long run,
Mm-hmm.
and it aligns with their commitment to open source and decentralization.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very forward-thinking approach,
It is.
and it shows their commitment to building something that's sustainable and impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. What about their development roadmap?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think their plans to make the platform accessible
Mm.
on all major operating systems,
Yeah.
especially mobile. That's huge.
Makes a lot of sense, especially with that tap, mine, earn model.
Yeah, exactly. The easier it is for people to participate,
Right.
the stronger the network becomes.
And mobile is the way to reach everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also thought their plans to release APIs and SDKs are
Yeah.
very interesting.
It's a crucial part of their strategy
Mm-hmm.
by giving developers the tools to build on top of UpRock. They're fostering this whole ecosystem of innovation.
Right. It's not just about, one product.
No.
It's about all the things that people can build on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine the new applications and services that could emerge.
Yeah.
It's like they're laying the foundation for a whole new generation of AI-powered tools.
It's an exciting prospect if they can,
Mhm.
get those developers on board, build that community.
Mm-hmm.
The effects could be huge.
They could be, yeah.
This deep dive has really, really opened my eyes to what UpRock is doing.
Yeah, it's a fascinating project.
But I'm sure, as with any ambitious project,
Mm.
there are going to be challenges along the way.
There will be, and they acknowledge that in the white paper.
Okay.
They talk about the challenges of censorship and internet freedom,
Right?
the complexities of building a truly decentralized system,
Mm-hmm.
the need to adapt to the ever-evolving world of AI.
Right, because AI is moving so fast.
It is.
It's changing all the time.
Yeah, it's a moving target, but these are real concerns.
Yeah.
But I think it's encouraging that they're not shying away from them.
Yeah, it seems like they're being very transparent
Yeah.
about the potential difficulties.
Yeah, transparency and adaptability,
Mm-hmm.
those are essential.
They are.
And when you look at the big picture, I think UpRock is doing something remarkable.
Yeah.
They're tackling these significant challenges like access to information,
Right.
data privacy,
Mm-hmm.
the responsible use of AI.
They're not just, talking about it.
Yeah.
They're actually taking action.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
But before we go too far down that road, let's talk about the people behind UpRock.
Oh, yeah, good point. The white paper does highlight
Mm-hmm.
the team's extensive experience
Yeah.
building successful tech companies.
Right. They've done this before.
They have.
And specifically in the areas of privacy and security.
Right. Yeah, they mentioned their work on Tenta,
Tenta,
which is a fully encrypted mobile VPN browser.
That's a big deal, especially these days.
It is.
Data privacy is so important.
It's paramount, yeah, and it shows that they understand the mobile landscape and that they're committed to building a platform that users can trust.
And speaking of user experience, their tap, mine, earn model is so simple.
It is, yeah. It's brilliant.
Literally install the app and let it run.
Yeah, there's no complicated setup, no technical barriers to entry.
They've made it effortless for
Yeah.
people to participate and earn rewards.
And that's so important, especially if you want to attract a large user base.
All right, to power that network.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything about the platform, from the interface to the tokenomics,
Right.
it's designed to encourage that participation and growth.
Yeah, it feels like they've created a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Users get rewarded, developers get access to this powerful platform,
Right.
and UpRock builds this thriving ecosystem.
It's a compelling model.
It is.
But even with a great model, there are going to be hurdles to overcome.
Of course, and it's good that they're being realistic about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we've talked a lot about, the technology, the vision.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the human element of all this.
Oh, I think that's a critical aspect of UpRock's story.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the tech and the grand vision. But ultimately, UpRock is about empowering individuals.
It's about giving people access to information and tools that they didn't have before.
Exactly, and it can level the playing field.
Right.
Technology is only as powerful as the people who wield it. And UpRock seems to really understand that.
Yeah, this deep dive has been really insightful.
It has.
We've explored their technology, their vision, their commitment to building a better future.
Yeah.
I think what resonates with me the most is that human element that's woven through everything they're doing.
Yeah, it's really more about people than just technology, right?
Absolutely.
It's about changing how we interact with information with each other. And I think that human element is what makes this whole thing so compelling.
Yeah, one of the things that really stuck with me from the white paper was this idea of a post-AI world.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a pretty mind-blowing concept.
Right.
It suggests this world where AI is so integrated into our lives that it's almost invisible.
Like electricity?
Exactly. Yeah, or the internet.
We don't even think about it anymore.
Right.
Makes you wonder, what will work even look like in a post-AI world?
Yeah, how will we learn?
Right.
How will we make decisions when AI is just, kind of woven into everything?
And UpRock's approach feels like a way to start exploring that.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not just, talking about it. They're building tools that can actually help us.
Right, and they're doing it with accessibility in mind.
Yeah, it's not about keeping AI in some exclusive club.
Right.
It's about making these tools available to everyone.
Yeah, and that real-time aspect of their data collection is huge.
Oh, it's vital.
Especially in a world where things are changing so fast.
Exactly, and that's where that decentralized infrastructure really shines.
Right.
Because they're not relying on static data sets.
Right, that can be out of date.
Exactly, it's constantly collecting information.
You're always getting that live feed of what's happening.
Exactly, it's not just about collecting data, it's about, turning it into insights.
Right, making it actionable.
Yeah, that can help people make better decisions.
It seems like they're really cutting through the noise.
Yeah.
That information overload.
That's one of the biggest challenges we face.
Right.
And I think they're tackling it in a really smart way.
And I like that they're not just relying on these black box AI systems.
Right.
They're embracing open source models,
Mm-hmm.
even training their own.
Exactly. It gives them that transparency and control
Right.
that you don't always see.
And they're contributing back to the open source community.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not just about building something in isolation.
Right.
It's about, being part of something bigger.
It's a long-term vision.
Yeah.
It's ambitious, but it seems like they have the team, the technology, the vision
You do.
to actually make it happen.
Yeah. What are your final thoughts on UpRock?
Well, it's definitely a bold experiment.
It is.
But it's driven by this desire
Mm-hmm.
to really make a difference.
Yeah.
To democratize this access to information,
Right.
empower people.
Give them the tools they need
Right.
to thrive in this crazy world that we're living in.
I'm really optimistic about their potential.
Yeah, me too.
This whole deep dive has been really eye-opening.
Go ahead.
I think the big takeaway here is that this isn't just about, a tech company trying to make money.
Right.
They're tackling some really big challenges.
Yeah.
Access to information, responsible use of AI, building a more equitable future.
Yeah. It's a future worth striving for.
It is, and it's inspiring to see that there are companies like UpRock out there.
Yeah.
Leading the charge.
Absolutely.
So if you're interested in learning more,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely encourage you to check out their white papers, explore their platform. You might just find yourself, at the forefront of a technological revolution.
You might.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
On this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of innovation to change the world.